under individual with liberty and justice for all. Please prepare yourselves as you see. Most gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, we come to you this day to say thank you, oh Father God. We thank you for all that you do for us, oh Father God. Thank you for allowing us to take each and every breath in our bodies, oh Father God. Lord, we just ask as we go into this 2025, oh Father God, that you continue to be with us, oh Lord, and make North Chicago a better place, oh Father God. We thank all that have come out in this brutally cold weather, oh Father God, to be a part of this city council meeting, oh Father God. Those that wish to have come out but did not, we ask that you continue to watch over them also. Lord, as we start the city council meeting, we ask that you continue to watch over each and every member, those that are here with us, and those that have wished to come but were not able to. This I say in your darling son Jesus' name and for his sake. Amen.
Amen.
All right, roll call.
Alderman Jackson,
Present.
Alderman Coleman,
Present.
Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith, Alderman Murphy,
Present.
Alderman January.
Present by Zoom.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to have a motion to allow Alderman January to come in under Zoom. She said she was under the weather, and that is a vital reason. So is there a motion and a second?
I'll have to motion that, Mayor.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Coleman, second by Alderman Murphy, that allows Alderman January to come in under Zoom. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Or opposed? Motion carried. Alderman January, you're now in under Zoom.
Thank you.
All right, we do have a couple of things that we do want to present. First of all is a proclamation presentation for 211 Day. We'll have the clerk read the proclamation.
Proclamation, special recognition of 211 Day in North Chicago, Illinois. 211, sorry. Whereas United Way of Lake County has been dedicated to serving children and families in our communities for more than 100 years. And whereas the Critical Service 211 Lake County, which was launched by United Way of Lake County on September 24th, 2019, is open and available for everyone in North Chicago and across Lake County, Illinois. And whereas 211 is a free, confidential, easy to remember, one-step helpline that connects people in need to a wide range of essential health and human services and reduces non-emergency calls to 911. And whereas 211 enables the people of Lake County to get connected to help 24 hours a day, every day of the year, by phone, text, and online, regardless of the language they speak or where they live. And whereas 211 expert navigators are trained specialists who will listen, identify underlying problems, and guide people to available resources. And whereas since launch, 211 has made more than 250,000 connections to help from every zip code in Lake County, including North Chicago. Whereas 211 team members have compassionately answered over 456 calls and texts from North Chicago in the past year alone, with 793 needs requested and 879 referrals made, mostly for help with housing and shelter, utilities, food, government and legal services, and employment and income support. And whereas 211 is available to 99% of America's population, and Lake County is leading the way as a model to bring 211 services to all Illinois communities so that every person in Illinois has access to quality information, resources, and assistance for addressing health and human services needs. And whereas the City of North Chicago is a key community partner committed to raising awareness of 211 to ensure this service can be used by residents and visitors for years to come. And whereas daily, 211 provides vital information and referrals to individuals and families in our community to improve and save lives. Now therefore be it recognized that the North Chicago City Council hereby proclaims February 11th, 2025 as 211 Day in North Chicago and encourages everyone to become aware of this service provided by 211.
Is there a motion and a second to accept the proclamation?
So moved.
Second,
It's been moved by Alderman Murphy, second by Alderman Jackson to accept the proclamation. Is there any questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Is there someone here to present? 211. Right, then first of all, this proclamation to you regarding 211. And we want to thank you, just to make.
Could you use the microphone right there, please?
Oh, sorry.
No, the handheld is right there too. Thank you.
Just to make people aware, as we read the proclamation, 211 is here in Lake County. It is a service that anyone can take advantage of. If you have a problem in regards to housing, utilities, whatever the case may be, you can pick up the phone and call 211 and you will get someone there to help you navigate through any issue or concern that you may have. This has been going on for over 5 years. And, you know, a lot of times people are not aware of it. But because of that, it has helped so many. You know, I know that over the years that I have been mayor, people that come to us asking, you know, we can't pay our light bill. We don't have, you know, housing. And prior to that, from a city standpoint, we used to go to United Way, we used to go to CAP, we used to go to different places to try to help those individuals. Now we can call 211 and those services are there for them. So we thank you. We thank you for all that you've done over over these past 5 years. And we just want to try to continue to get the word out. And now that you have heard that, please go out, spread the word, let them know that here in Lake County, 211 is available. So thank you. All yours to go ahead.
I just wanted to thank you, Mayor Rockingham and the City Council. It is an honor to receive a 211 proclamation from you. We are here to serve you and your community. As stated previously, over the last 5 years, North Chicago continues to be in the top 5 cities in Lake County that is receiving calls, information, and referrals for its community residents. So we look forward to continuing to serve you, and we look forward to collaborating with you. And don't forget to invite us so we can come out and meet and greet with the community. I'd like one more thing is to ask one of our 211 Advisory Council members, Ms. Nita Chalmers, to come up. She's on our Advisory Council just to speak for a moment about how 211 impacts her clients and community.
And can I get your name for the record so you can?
Gail, Gale, Graves, Graves, like graveyard.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
So yes, since I've been a part of the 211, again, my name is Nina Chalmers. I'm the Executive Director with the North Chicago Housing Authority. So the 211 has really been a great benefit to the residents and the citizens of North Chicago. Since I've been on the board, I've learned so much information and I've gone back to the job and given that information to our residents. So the 211 has been a great tool for North Chicago and other surrounding cities within Lake County. So I just want to thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, we thank you for your service. Also, today I like to, Bob, would you like to come up and do your presentation also? And Tom.
At the lunch meeting today of the APWA, American Public Works Association Lake Branch meeting, we were lucky enough to be the recipients of 2 awards. The first one that Tommy has over there is for the water treatment plant renovations. And it's a project of the year, 5 million to 25 million. And the other one was the project of the year, same category, and it was for the 16th Street water main project. So it was very nice to be able to receive this on behalf of the city, and we would like to give these to the mayor, and hopefully you can put those.
We'll make sure they are displayed and people are aware that North Chicago did receive these 2 awards. Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. Omnibus vote agenda.
Mayor Rockham,
Alderman Evans,
I would like to approve 5-1 through 5-3 as presented.
Mr. Mayor? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
is there a second first? Got to get a second.
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Evans, second by Alderman Murphy, that the omnibus vote agenda be passed as presented. Alderman Coleman,
I moved to motion 5-3 to the regular agenda. I have a question on it.
being that it is, again, motion is second, do you amend your motion and amend your second to allow, wait a minute, do we have to do that?
You know, got a
I don't
question?
think-
Yeah.
It's already
That's the
moved
question.
out.
That's just a question.
It just, oh, you have a question on it?
Yeah, I just had a question on it. Would it be appropriate to discuss it now?
Yeah.
Just to get it
sure,
over with?
Yeah, oh, yeah, go ahead.
The 5-3. There was a question that was brought up by one of the aldermen at the last meeting, if they were going to continue to have this grant service. Have we had an update with the new administration that was coming in? If they were going to continue the
Oh,
lead,
yes,
le-
yes,
lead
okay.
line service?
We'll have Steve from Trotter come up and,
Good evening. In relation to the grant that we're gonna be receiving for this project, that's administered through the state of Illinois. It's through the IEPA. It is not administered by the federal government. So the incoming administration in Washington has no bearing on this project.
So you are 100% sure we're going to get this grant with the new administration? Yes.
It's going through Springfield and not through Washington. And it is a competitive grant. We are applying for it. And yes, we do anticipate receiving the funding.
Okay. Is there any way that you could wait to put your work order in until after we receive the funding?
No,
Okay, all right.
I wouldn't.
That was my question.
just so you're aware, it is a competitive grant. Okay, and in general, all grants, when they're competitive, you get points for project readiness, i.e., are you ready to go out to bid? If you're not ready to go out to bid, they're not gonna give you money. They're gonna go to your neighbor who already is ready to go out to bid and they'll give their money there. So just so you kind of understand some of that.
We've been in a partnership for a long time with the city and Trotter, excellent partnership. And I wasn't saying don't put out for the grant bid, but I was just saying put some skin in the game maybe. And if we get the bid, then we pay you. And if we don't get the bid, then, it's part of being a partnership with the city.
Just so you're aware, we do give the city, you're our only client that receives a discount. Okay, you receive a 10% discount on our rates.
No,
every
I was
invoice.
talking about this $204,000.
Yes, you get a 10% discount.
Okay, well,
So that is the partnership. And
thank you. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you.
you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, for acknowledging me.
Yes. Any other questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Jackson,
Aye.
Alderman Coleman,
No.
Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Murphy,
Aye.
Alderman January.
No.
Motion carried. Public comments.
Deborah Richards.
Good evening, everyone. How are you today?
Good
Good.
evening.
All right, I'm back. And I just want to say, and I'm going to read this so I'm getting everything in. Over the years, I have endured a great deal of harassment from this city under the current administration. I previously supported a candidate who came within 4 votes of defeating Mayor Rockingham years
Ms.
ago.
Richard,
Yes, sir.
that's campaign information and that is not to be read in city council,
Okay.
okay? Just so you're aware, when it's starting to do
Well, this is
campaigning.
saying why I'm targeted.
well,
Okay.
But if it's
But-
campaign,
I understand. I will not mention that,
Mr.
but I
Mayor,
will
she is
say,
not campaigning.
Mr. Mayor,
Ms. Richard, did you understand what I was
I
saying?
surely did.
Okay, thank
Mr.
you.
Mayor,
Thank you, Ms. Richard. Go ahead.
Mr. Mayor,
No, let Ms. Richard, she's got the floor right now. Continue, Ms. Richards.
Since then, I have been targeted almost on everything. I am sure many citizens in this city are being targeted as well, but are too fearful of retaliation to speak out. I am not. Several years ago, a former city planner, Nimrod Warder, sent me multiple letters demanding that I remove a sign from a parcel of land on the north side of Pulaski, now Audrey Nixon Boulevard, near the bridge. I was targeted without any research, unaware that I was fully within my rights. It took Mr. J. Drobnik, the owner of the land, to personally go to the city and inform Nimrod that I was his realtor, the property was his, and I was within my legal rights to have this particular sign. He told Nimrod, cease and desist on the harassing of Deborah Richards. To my knowledge, I am the only Black-owned real estate agent in the city. And I'm reading these to say how this has been going on and on and on. You would be shocked to know how many business opportunities I've been deprived of in this city simply because of who I supported in previous times. Dr. Fields opened her medical facility at Grant Place. This is another one. After I presented the idea to the city, it became, is that my time? It became what is now known as Intervention Arms Medical and also secured the pharmacy next door. However, I was not allowed to continue the leasing of the Grant Place, which sat empty for years before and after I listed it. Several years ago, the city participated in some of the HUD-supported Good Neighbor Next Door and the Dollar Home programs, despite being approved as a HUD-registered selling broker for my firm, was only able to complete 2 of the home purchases before the contract was pulled from under me and reassigned to another realtor out of the area. I attempted to extend again something else, a driveway at my office. And with even that, I ended up with problems where we ended up at the mayor's office trying to get it resolved. I have received multiple violations demanding that I remove my real estate signs, even having one at the North Shore next door, home next door to the North Shore Cemetery, saying it was too close to the cemetery and appeared as if I was selling the cemetery. There have been countless other incidents of harassment, including what I am experiencing here in this council. As recent as November 2024, after holding an exempt license for over 13 years, I received a letter from Mr. I don't know what his name is in the zoning, stated that I now needed to pay license fee. I was informed that failure to do so would result in legal consequences or court action. Why is this an issue now after 13 years without any problems? I instructed them to check their records, but they could not find conveniently their paperwork. However, I found it in my files. It shows that the former city attorney signed off on the exempt status, and I was even refunded for my 2011 year fee by the city. I still have not been able to pay my sign fee or receive a copy of my license as I do every year. The only explanation I have been given is that they need to conduct more research. Why now, after 13 years with no issues? I have licenses from previous years, so why is it a problem now? I still have not received my license. After I left the meeting 2 council meetings ago, someone in the council stood up and asked why you would not approve my sign request. Your response, Mayor, because you choose not to. However, when my husband and I met with you, you told us that you were in favor of the sign and you were shocked that the council did not approve it the first day as no one had ever been turned down before. I now realize that this entire ordeal was drawn out on purpose from September until January for reasons that had nothing to do with me and everything to do with other agendas. And I will stop there. I'm not done, but it will continue. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms.
Mr. Mayor.
Tonette Mackins.
Continuing for Debbie Richards. In our meeting in late October, we expressed our concerns about delay, and you told us to wait until after the election, suggesting that you may be able to get it pushed through at that point. When I asked why after the election and not now, and asked Mayor, is it politics? You replied, I guess you could say it's political, Ms. Richards. I need the council to support my agenda on certain things. Now I understand that this is part of the collective and cruel plan to waste my time and cause unnecessary stress. The truth is, I had no intentions of supporting anyone until you said because you chose not to.
Let's not go into political again. So let's don't bring up
Mr.
candidates.
Mayor,
Let's don't bring up candidates as you speak.
Mr. Mayor, I'm
You're-
asking to be
Not at this
recognized on
time,
the
not at
floor.
this time, Alderman. She has the floor.
No, I have the floor.
She has the floor, Alderman.
I'm asking to be recognized.
I am not recognizing because she has the floor. Continue on.
Under
Bill.
Robert Rules of Order, can I ask for the floor?
The lady got the
Okay, go ahead.
When
But
you-
this is addressing the
can't address it. She's sitting there talking.
When you removed this item from the committee agenda, I told you that my pursuit had become a matter of principle regardless of whether whether I ever got the sign. Your actions have forced me to stand up for another candidate and question my due process rights. I had no intentions of supporting anyone openly, but the word pushed me to support.
There's still,
Whether win or lose, I want to know that what is happening is this council is ashamed and unethical. As for what I've experienced, I have been advised that I've gone through constitute harassment, which is illegal and could result in federal case against you and anyone involved in the scheme. I am standing up for those who don't have the courage to speak out of fear of retaliation. You were not you were not elected to serve. I'm officially placing on record that if anyone applies for this approved for a street sign, new name sign in the city, in the future, it will be considered discrimination actions by the city and may result in legal consequences. And I am done there.
thank you.
Robert Richards.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Which one? Good evening. My name is Robert Richards. I'm gonna finish up what she read. Mr. Rockham, when you removed Ms. Richards from the committee agenda stating you chose to, you denied her due process. In doing so, furthered your personal agenda. Harassment in the context of due process within local municipality constitutes a violation of individuals' liberty interests, which are protected by due process clause of the 14th Amendment. This means that if a local government takes action against someone based on harassment, it must follow established procedures to ensure fairness, including providing notice and opportunity to be heard. All businesses and property owners must be treated in the same manner. By removing Ms. Richards from the committee agenda, you ensured that there could be no vote, which blocked her due process. I read through the numerous incidents over the years where her due process was violated, and she's been harassed simply because she supported someone else. In summary, she is demanding fair and just treatment. Now, I read what she has written, but me, I want to say, I want to speak statistically. Anytime, especially in local government, small municipalities, many people in the city does not really pay much attention to local government. And when a person's been in office too long, they have an opportunity to change the course and the benefit of the city simply by being there so long, by appointments, by other means. After a while, the vote will continue to move towards the agenda of that long-standing official. What I'm seeing here is that since I've been sitting here looking and listening and look what's going on, it appears to me that what I see is
Thank you, Mr. Richard.
Thank you, Mr. Rockingham.
Mhm.
Nina Chalmers? Nina Chalmers?
Afternoon again. So now I'm coming on behalf of the North Chicago Housing Authority, because I've been absent for the last two council meetings, and I hear that the Housing Authority has been the topic of conversation. So I'm here to ask the council if anybody have any questions that they need to address to me. I would appreciate it that you would have addressed those issues to me. Anybody have any questions about the Housing Authority and its running? I have my board chair here, Lisa Mitchell. So she's here as well.
Voice your concerns to, it's not meant to be back and forth.
Yes.
No, it's not back and forth. I'm just asking if anybody have any concerns about the Housing Authority.
At this point, we cannot have dialogue in that respect.
Okay.
Okay, you might want to address whatever you might have heard at this time.
Okay.
And
Okay,
if there's
just to
anything
clarify.
else.
So the North Chicago Housing Authority is not a senior, nor it's an elderly development. It's for anyone 18 or older. So you don't have to have a certain amount of income. You just have to be a United States citizen, 18 or older, with a background that doesn't exceed 3 years. In regards to overdoses in the development, I hear that's been a question as well. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I'm not God. So I have no dealings with what's going on in a person's personal space. The only thing I can do is do my due diligence, is to get the resources to the residents in regards to anything that they have maybe subject to in regards to drugs, alcohol, or anything. We do know that the whole entire United States has an epidemic with drugs. So it's not just the North Chicago Housing Authority. And it appears that because this is an election time, that this seems to be a topic. Now, if anybody needed to come to any of the meetings, I do I have quarterly mandatory meetings for residents. I offer the mayor, fire, and police to attend. Alderman Coleman has attended the last previous one that we had. That was the first time we've seen him since his election. So that's something that needs to be addressed as well. Any other things to be
Whoa,
addressed?
that's not political. We're not gonna do that.
I'm just letting you know that we
Mayor,
haven't,
Keep
you're
things.
you're here to
keep things in
represent
order.
us.
Keep things in order, political.
Now you're gonna stop it. Go ahead,
So
continue.
that's all. So
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to give some factual information about the Housing Authority.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Carmesia Hawthorne?
Good evening,
Good evening.
Mayor Rockingham and our wonderful city council with our aldermen and everybody else that's in attendance. Greetings. I'm Commissioner Carmesia Hawthorne. I am coming with good tidings. We have a few events that's coming up with the new year. I know we're just getting in with the new year, but guess what? It's time for us to gather again. So Falls Park is hosting a father-daughter sweetheart dance, which will take place February 6th. Please call the district for any questions or concern, and we would like for you, everybody, to come attend. I brought extra flyers, so we will have them sitting out in the back. Also, coming up, we want to give you guys ample time. The Easter egg hunt, which will take place April 12th, 2025, again, at the Falls Park District. Please call the district for any concerns or questions. We also have something that's new. We have something for the adults, the Easter night egg hunt, and you have to bring your flashlight. And now let me just say this to you guys. It's going to be some awesome, awesome stuff in that field that we got going on. So I will have that information when we come back here next month, but please stay tuned and plan on attending. Thank you so much. You guys have a wonderful night.
Thank you, Councilman.
Keon Carter?
Right.
right, good evening, everyone. So
evening.
good to be here. Good to see everyone. I haven't seen you all in a while.
Happy New Year.
Good to see you. Good evening. So if you don't know, my name is Mrs. Carter, Keon Carter, and I have the privilege of running this amazing program called Summer Up, where I connect the students and young adults from North Chicago to opportunities that build their skills and transform their futures. That consists of three main components. The first component is college and learning opportunities, where students have an opportunity to participate in overnight college experiences. The second component is the camping component. That's the indoor, that's the outdoor adventures. And the third component, of course, is our paid internship. So that's what I do. So if you have children, nieces, nephews, or anyone in the community who's interested, please see me afterwards. I'm glad to be here, and thanks again for putting me on the agenda. I just had to face you all to say thank you. Thank you so very much. I've been with you all since 2020. 2020, and it is because of the city of North Chicago. During that very difficult time, during COVID, we were able to provide 28 households with income. And most of those students worked here at City Hall. So I want to say thank you. Even after that, of course, we increased 2021, 2022, 23. We had hundreds of students. This past year, 2024, I do want to let you all know how many students we had the opportunity to serve. We had served 158 students. We had 35 overnight college experiences for our high school students. Some of them are here. And 60% of those students earned college credits. So they earned the college credit before they even get to college. We had 62 specialized learning opportunities in fields like electrical engineering, computer technology, nursing, culinary arts, agriculture, forensics, and so forth. And lastly, we had 61 paid internships for our students, including hospital visits and hospital work sites. And we weren't able to do that, of course, because of COVID, but now it's open. So that's a huge accomplishment for Summer Up. So ever since I've been here from 2020, we've served, can you guess? We served quite a few students. We've served over 600 students. My program has been here since 2020. Yep. In 2024, we've served 600 students, 325 college and learning experiences, 75 outdoor experiences, and 243 paid internships for the students in North Chicago.
Awesome.
And that's we've served students from ages 8 to 25 years of age. So again, I just wanted to say thank you. I love you all. Alderman Smith, you've been rolling with me for quite some time. Alderman Evans, you were here in 2020. You came every day almost to encourage us and just have that reinforcement of support and love, and I appreciate that. And hey Vance, and Alderman Murphy, love you. You guys, thank you. Alderman Jackson was so intimidating initially, but he's a teddy bear. He and Alderman Allen, and of course Alderman Coleman, I love you too. You've been on board ever since I first met you. So I appreciate you. And of course, our amazing mayor, who I love and I appreciate so very much. It was you who told me, hey, it's time for you to become a nonprofit. So I wanted to let you know face to face, we are officially a 501c3.
Excellent.
So thank
Glad to
you.
hear it.
And thank all of you. I have a couple of my students here. Stand up, come on.
All right.
They want to say a few words. Come on, patience, come on. And this could not be possible without my amazing parents. Come here, Stephanie, come on, bring it in. This is Miss Austin. She's been with me. Her daughter is a senior now. Her daughter has been with me ever since she was in the 6th grade.
Wow.
The 6th grade, Patience. And I appreciate you all so much. Did you all want to say anything? She's like, how many, you're gonna ask me every year. She spoke, this past summer. But yeah, and then we have students who permanently.
And they have come back to,
Yes.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Sure. So, hello everyone, my name is Gilberto Torres. I graduated back from high school, the North Chicago Community High School in 2019. And I pursued a higher education through College of Lake County, and I graduated with an associate's degree back in 2021. And I'm proud to say that I'm currently now working here at the City of North Chicago at the Economic and Community Development Department as a full-time clerk, working under to serve the city, really. So I've been in this program for quite a few years already. Back in 2021, I was actually working as an intern directly under Vance White, the treasurer. I got to experience lots of things there. I managed to get to have a feeling of the inner workings of the city. I got to visit Public Works a bit and their facility. I managed to really see how they operated back at the comptroller's office and how the community interacted really with the city. And the next year, I actually started working with Miss Carter as their direct assistant for running the program. And through there, I got so many experiences through connecting with the city and helping the parents and students find different resources, different experiences. I got to set up meetings. I got to see how we would interact with the community, how we would bring all these wonderful children to these events. And I really, really couldn't get enough of that experience of seeing the light in their eyes just light up when they would interact with the activities, when they would just enjoy being in the program. They would talk about it after on their rides back on the bus. They would be like, oh, I can't wait to get joined next year. I really want to continue this. Or you would have some like personal talk with some students saying like, I really want to continue learning about this back in college, want to continue progressing my education on this topic. And for me, that really just made it all worth it. And honestly, I really want to thank the city of North Chicago for hosting the Warhawk Summer Rap. And I can't thank you all enough for all these countless experiences and these memories with the students, with young adults, seeing how they all grew all started as a seed and they all grew into a wonderful tree that just flourished, and we see them pursuing these future careers or activities. Thank you all.
welcome.
And I have to acknowledge, of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't, this young woman here, she serves our country, our community, and so forth. But tell them who you are, what you do. But we appreciate your service to this country.
Good evening. I'm Saida Marshall, Deshawn's mom. I've been in the Navy for 21 years. I'm currently at,
Service.
thank you, at the VA hospital, AFHCC, serving there. And my son, he goes to North Chicago High School. And one of the decisions for us staying here is because he really enjoys this area and because of Miss Carter and the programs that they offer and everything. So we would just like to thank North Chicago and Miss Carter for having a passion and a desire for the children in this community. Because I know it's not easy, so thank you. Thank you all.
Good evening. My name is Wendy. I'm super anxious. I just wanted to say a little bit about myself and how this impacted my life and what I'm doing now. I have been in the Warhawk Summer Up program since 2020, my freshman year till my senior year. And well, now, thanks, thanks to the program, I had a lot of amazing experience that I would have never thought I'd have, and not many get to experience at my age. I attended a pastries baking class, and the best part about it was I got to gather my friends and experience it together. At 16 years old, I finally attended my first official job, and the cool part about it was I got the opportunity to work in and with the city hall. Despite it being COVID year and things were very limited, we did work hybrid. We encourage the North Chicago residents to fill out their census.
I remember.
You remember me? Oh,
Go ahead,
see?
yeah.
This is just a small portion of the amazing things I did, but my main takeaway from this experience was this year was how much little knowledge to people in my community, and even about how important the census was, made me realize, as someone who's always taken advantage of the opportunities that is given to me, even when it's something completely different than my norms, that someone who knows information like this needed to take a step and inform others how numerous of important opportunities there is, not only for their children, but even for themselves. Little did I know this was only the beginning of many more informing and advising coming from me. Next thing you know, I'm hired as her assistant coordinator with my good friend Gilberto. The purpose of the program was to contact and gather students around our community and inform the public about our program and encourage them to participate, whether it was parents or young adults. It fit perfectly for me because I love helping and caring others, especially if it's something important like this program. Now, thank you to Ms. Carter and for reaching out to me and showing me all these opportunities. I had the chance to advocate other students and acknowledge them for the opportunities they had in their city. I even got my siblings involved because I felt the needed to get them a part of this program. My brother joined the mechanic engineering trade in CLC, and now he talks about how when he graduates the high school, that's where he wants to go for. And my sister, she did pastries, and now she is the baker in the family, all because she joined a week, and my brother as well. And me, well, because I got involved with helping others, thank you to this program, I'm now going to college at COC for nursing school, and I'm currently employed as a patient care tech at the Northwestern Lake Forest Hospital. My goal is now to become a pediatric nurse and work my way up to be a pediatrician physician assistant, all because this program got me involved with children, their families, and made me realize how much of an advocate I could be with others publicly. And I just want to say thank you to Ms. Carter for this opportunity, and the city hall, the mayor, and all the aldermen I got to meet. I remember Mr. Smith and Mr. Evans that would always come and give us support, and thank you for everything.
Thank you.
I don't want to deal with kids. Pediatric nurse.
Alderman January, I love you. I didn't get a chance to acknowledge you, but Alderman January, love you and thank you as well. I love y'all. I love you all. I had something made for you all, but I have to admit, I got kind of ill and I had to recover, so I will bring it here, okay? But I'm going to continue to undergird this great city, because this is a great city and we have great people, and much love and much prayer in Jesus' name.
Amen. Who's that? Thank you. Ms. Carter, we want to thank you, from the city of North Chicago. You know, every year I get my staff and says, okay, you guys got kids coming. They kind of look at me, go, another time, Mayor. But because of what you've done on your side, it has helped us as the city on our side. You know, whether it's in, the comptroller's office, the fire department, police department, public works, HR, wherever it's at, you know, these children, that young adults that have come here has shown that, you know, they are, able to succeed in life. And this is a plus. And that plus comes from you. So we thank you for that, all that you have done to help our young adults from the city of North Chicago. And we will continue to support you in any way possible. Thank you. Yes, yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Mayor,
Appreciate
can I
it.
say one thing? I see.
This way and then that way.
Okay.
Just give us a little report, cause I thought it was very exciting about the young lady that wanted to work in Public Works.
Hey, man.
Just tell that little story, because you don't see a lot of ladies that want to go do that hard work. Come back up to the mic.
Yes, that's Alexandria. Alexandria Garcia. She was the first young lady who considered working in Public Works, and she did a wonderful job. That's just something that she wanted to do. So yeah.
Excellent.
You remember that, right?
Mhm.
You're right, that was an anomaly
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
All right.
Alderman
First of
Evans.
all, I would like to say, the first two people that came up, they was in the third ward. That was Stephanie and her daughter. I'd like to congratulate them too. And I'd like to congratulate Gil, because I see Gil all the time in his working
Mhm.
place and everything. And all of you, just for being excellent, doing an excellent job. And it shows that your program that you're in is an excellent tool
Mhm.
for the young people out here. So keep up the good work and just keep it going in North Chicago. And thanks a lot, Keon.
Yep.
Yes,
Mhm. Yes,
yes.
indeed. Okay. All right.
Gerald Coleman.
Good evening, Alderman. First, Mrs. Carter, you don't know this, but her dad is a legendary basketball, he's probably one of the best coaches in the state of Illinois. He mentored me, and he called me up one night, he said, look, my baby's coming to North Chicago, you better take care of her. And you know what I told him? I said, when she comes, she won't go back. And he stayed with her. And when you open up your door, I would call you at 11, 12 o'clock at night, hey, I got a couple kids, I need you to take care of them. And you had my back. I appreciate everything you did.
Excellent.
But, Alderman, I'm just coming up, I had a conversation, with the mayor a couple weeks ago. And, you know, I've been here for 70 years now. And I really want to see the council stop bickering among each other. And, I mean, you go in executive session or whatever you do, if you got some beef, solve it in there. Come back out here as a unit. Mr. Mayor, I'm gonna give you credit today. I watched how you was attacked today. And one of my things has always been, you don't have to respond to the public. Listen to all their complaints and just thank you. And you did that today. And that's what it should be about. Now, I did contact Anthony, like I mentioned, the young lady mentioned that he only been to one meeting. And, you know, I don't think that stuff is necessary. The problem is, now, over at the towers, over there at Cookman Towers, now I've been over there. I sat out there the other night. I said, I think I talked to a couple of aldermen. And it's illegal stuff, but there's nothing she can do about it. There's nothing Anthony can do about it. I don't care if he go to 50 meetings. It ain't nothing he can do about it. It have to, I mean, that's police work. And the setup, even the setup and blame, ain't nothing she can do about that. She there to run the operation of the building, whether they doing illegal stuff in there or not. Is, you know, is out of her hand, is out of Anthony's hand. But I would just like to see you guys, you know, be more of a team and stop attacking each other in public. Attack each other behind them doors, but don't do it out in public. Come out as one, gray, and listen. Don't respond to when the audience come up and they attack you. It's okay. I watched her walk out of a meeting one time. And it shouldn't get like that. It shouldn't get like that. Say whatever you want to say behind that door, but when you're out in public in front of the citizens, you're all on one page. And it's okay to get attacked. Everybody's entitled to opinion. It's okay for somebody to attack you. That's just their opinion. But you guys stop attacking each other. That's all I want to say. Thanks.
Thank you, Coach. All right. Is anything else? Anyone else? Is that it? Okay. All right. Moving on into our regular agenda, 7-1, consideration and approval of resolution establishing annual meeting 2025 calendar.
Mayor Rockingham,
Alderman Evans.
I would like to approve the resolutions establishing annual meeting 2025 calendar as is.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Evans, second by Alderman Smith, that 7-1 be passed as presented. Are there questions? Hearing none, roll call.
Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen. Alderman Smith.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
Aye.
Alderman Jackson.
Aye. Motion carried. 7-2, city bills.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like,
Alderman Murphy.
yeah, in Alderman Allen's absence.
Yes.
I'd like to propose that we approve the city bills in the amount of $1,350,824.06 when funds become available.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Murphy, second by Alderman Smith, that the city bills be passed as presented. Are there any questions? Alderman January.
Thank you, Mayor. I think you saw me unmute. Who am I addressing this evening? Is Tawanda available?
Yes, I am, Alderman. How are you today?
Not feeling too good, but we'll get there. Just my usual questions. Do we have sufficient funds in the sufficient funds to pay the bills? And when will the checks be cut and sent?
There are sufficient funds in the bank account to pay the bill. The checks will be cut tomorrow morning, and then we'll put them in the mail tomorrow as well.
Okay, thank you. And then what is the amount, and I take it the liquefied amount in the account for the water fund?
Okay, the total amount was $4,985,392.89.
Okay. Say that again, it was
$4,985,392.89.
okay, and then I think Vance is available. You have the non-liquefied amount?
Yeah, so the non-liquid assets that are being held in the water fund at the market close was $1,511,285.55.
Okay, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, anyone else? Hearing none, roll call?
Alderman Evans,
Aye.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Murphy,
Aye.
Alderman January,
No,
Alderman Jackson,
Aye.
Alderman Coleman.
Motion carried. Miscellaneous business, anything under miscellaneous? Alderman Coleman.
I think this is the appropriate time for me to speak to the director, Nina. At the last council meeting, Mrs. Chalmers, at the last council meeting, I had spoke to the alderman, and at that time I apologize for not being as visible. I don't think Mrs. Chalmers was here. But I had reached out to Mrs. Chalmers, and I didn't know she was going to be here today, but I am glad that she is here. There were some aldermen that was in her absence that might have had a few questions for her at that time. So what I was trying to interrupt and say was, Nina, out of respect to your position, we can bring you up, and then you don't have to worry about the 3 minutes at this time. And if there's any aldermen, like promise that we kind of all agreed on, if you have any questions, I think Nina has come here to answer for herself and directly to any alderman. And she has also, Mrs. Mitchell has taken the time to come as well to answer any questions that the alderman might have. So if there's any questions, she's in the second ward. So if there's any questions at this time, as long as it's okay with you,
Thank you.
okay? Not doing things out of order, as long as it's okay with you. If there was any, you can take it from here, Mr. Mayor, if there was any questions from the last council meeting.
Is there anything for the alderman?
Yeah, I have a question.
Alderman Smith.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
My only question I really have is the housing over the towers, the two buildings, or is the city? I was hearing that the city is over it, the housing authority is over it. I just need clarity on
The
that.
housing authority is overseen by HUD.
Does the city have any part of?
The city, the only thing the city has is the mayor appoints our board of commissioners.
And that's all the city has to
That's-
do with the,
Yes.
thank you.
Any other questions? Alderman Jackson?
Yeah, I got a couple. If the housing authority is overseen by HUD, with the different problems that obviously the residents have been bringing, and I've been getting phone calls from obviously residents of the two buildings, is HUD doing anything to help the North Chicago Housing Authority in any way? Financially, or is something being reported to them saying, hey, we got these different things going, we need help? Is a main concern. What are we doing with HUD?
Well, I inform HUD of everything that goes on here. I did forward a letter to the mayor in regards to the designation of both buildings. And I do let our HUD rep, I have a Monday, first Monday of each month, I have a call with HUD where we explain any issues or anything that we have in regards to them helping us in regards to, what's your question? Are they helping us?
Doing anything? I mean, if obviously we're having potentially.
This is something that's going on all over the world. So, I mean, in regards to helping us, it's just a matter of the police department just needs to step up and do a little more in regards to policing the buildings. But in regards to helping us, I don't understand. We on a skeleton budget. I'm short-staffed. I have been running the agency without a deputy director for the last 2 years. So when it comes to second in command, there is no second in command. So I'm the one who gets called for everything. So in regards to help, no. But do they know about what's going on at the agency? Yes, they do.
So therefore, outside of any funding, they're not giving any additional.
There's no additional funding and we will be possibly in a shortfall where our funding will be cut moving forward. So I'll know more about that in the upcoming months.
I'm good. Thank you. You've already asked my other question I had, so we're good. You said-
Alderman January?
Thank you, Mayor. Hi, Nina. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for the presentation earlier. Very much appreciated. I do have a couple of questions. One is, you said you host quarterly meetings with the residents there in the buildings?
Yes.
Okay, when do you do those?
The last meeting was, I believe it was November the 7th, if I'm somewhere around there. So the next meeting will be in February.
It's February. Do you know the date that
No,
will be?
No, I don't have the date, but I will forward it to the mayor's office.
Okay, yeah, that way they can forward it on to the alderman. My second question is, how often does the Housing Authority Committee meet? Is it quarterly as well, or?
Every third Wednesday of the month.
Every third Wednesday. So it's monthly then?
Yes.
Okay. And are there minutes to these meetings
There is.
that are available? Okay.
Yes, they are.
Okay, great. And then lastly, I just was listening to you when you were talking with and answering Alderman Jackson. You said that every Monday and just correct me if I'm wrong, every Monday you have a
No,
call
the
with
first
HUD?
Monday of each month, we have a HUD
Oh,
call.
first Monday of each month.
Yes.
Thank you for that correction. And who do you speak with at HUD?
His name is John Garrett.
John Garrett. Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Have a good evening.
You as well.
Thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Mayor.
Did you?
Nina.
Say best for last. Besides for the policing, right? is there anything else that the city can do as far as funding? Cause you did say that you're
Well, we
funding,
don't get any funding from the city, so I don't know. what
so
you're
there's
speaking of. We
nothing
don't get any
other,
funding from the city. No.
okay. Now, do you currently have a full board? I know we appoint your board. Have we
Our
appointed?
board, we have
enough
two members whose expiration of their appointment is up.
And they're, okay, so as a council, would that help you out at all? Getting you a full board? Does
We
that
have a
help you?
full board. It's just two members. Their expiration is up.
Okay, so we gotta reappoint
Yes.
them. Okay, and the last thing is the last meeting that we did attend, we did speak of some policing. Do you feel that that the North Chicago Police has?
Well, I understand the North Chicago Police Department is short-staffed as well.
Yes.
Just as well as the Housing Authority is. So they do what they can. And again, most of the crime and everything it happens within someone's unit. So we don't have control over that. Neither does the police. So you can't just enter someone's apartment.
Right, and just so we're clear, this isn't about pointing fingers. I would never point fingers at our North Chicago Police Department. This is just trying to get an issue resolved, and I'm trying to find out if we could do a better or add more manpower, we should say.
Again, the police department is short-staffed. I did make a suggestion and asked if a police car could be just parked outside the building. That could be a deterrent. So anything that could be helpful, but I do understand that the police department is short-staffed just as well as the agency is.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Is there any way I can call Gary up here, the police? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. No, I was just
done?
calling it. Yeah, I'm done. Thank you so much. I appreciate
Mayor,
you.
Are we changing categories here? Cause I have another question for Ms. Chalmers.
Already good.
All right,
Yes.
your assistant position, is it posted somewhere?
No, it's not posted at this time because of budgeting. We don't have the staffing, the budget to get a deputy director at this time. So once our budget is more plentiful, then we will be posting it. But we did at one time, we did post it, but we didn't get anybody who had the qualifications of a deputy director, meaning someone with housing experience.
Okay, so when can we revisit that as far as getting, when is your next budget for your new budget start? So it can maybe be
But
put into the
you wanna
budget?
know, that's something that the council, that's nothing that you don't have any say-so in our day-to-day.
But what I'm asking if for this reason, if that could be put in your budget, maybe we can help circulate the information to help get someone qualified for that position so you
I
can
can
get
forward
assistance.
the job description over to the city. I can do that.
All right, thank you.
Any other questions?
Oh, this question's for the mayor. Mr. Mayor, I know we had got a grant for, the first ward, Brookstone, for safety. And I know it was a process, it was a long process, but would, something like that, would they even be eligible? Would the housing even be eligible at that point? Even if we were to, let's say we're happen to be in Springfield and Greg's got a list here of things, and they're in my second ward. Could we even mention that?
I'm not sure at this time. I mean, that's something we'd have to take up with our senators or our state rep.
And I know Greg is pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but anything we can do to help, with the funding.
I actually did listen to a Zoom call on Thursday regarding the grant for that possibly would be appropriate for the towers.
That's what I'm talking about, Gary. And Mr. Gary, I'm done. Thank you, Nina. Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chalmers.
Thank you. Gary, Chief Lund, out of all credit, you came to me with some good ideas about the Thompson and the Kugler. I would never blame or point a finger at you. I think we're doing the best job that we can, and I think you're the right man for the job. Do you think that there is anything, and you just brought up a grant, but anything else that we could do within our means to help out the Second Ward Kugler Towers?
Looking at both, looking at Thompson and Kukla. And
Thompson,
a
yes.
couple- I'm actually gonna be forwarding a proposal to the Public Safety Committee Chairman shortly. The ideas are mostly gonna be grant related, or the other program we're talking about is getting the CSOs through the Pathway to Police program, which would be sponsored through Lake County Workforce Development. So hopefully, through these different programs, we'd be able to maybe station people there on a full-time basis. They would not be police officers, but they'd be able to monitor and act as kind of quasi-security. Like I said, there was a grant opportunity that came up that was forwarded to me about 2 weeks ago. And then we had listened to the Zoom call that the state put on Thursday, and it's a victims assistance grant that we think we may be able to tailor towards this. So knock on wood, we're gonna try to apply for that, see if it would be applicable. I have a couple other grants that I'm looking into for possible additional surveillance. Right now it's manpower. We have 25% of our workforce is not available. We have 7 in the police academy. We have 6 currently in training. So knock on wood, within the next few months, we'll start getting our manpower deployed on the road. We'll have additional manpower for additional patrols.
And I know this is a big ask, but we set up in precincts, right? So we always have a police car within her precinct, right?
Yeah, so what we consider to be the higher crime areas, that the supervisor on duty will have at least one officer assigned to kind of directly patrol that area. So there'll be officers for each of the towers that'll patrol on a regular basis. Brookstone, Prairie View, and then 10th Street are the areas that they mainly patrol. That doesn't stop them from going to places like the Navy area or Lewis or MLK, but they will always have one car kind of dedicated to be somewhere in that general area to respond to calls quicker than normal.
And do you think that, because Mrs. Chalmers, she brought up a good point, a little bit more presence? I know we can't afford to put a car, just sit there, but maybe if you could, I know we do morning meetings, maybe drive by the housing, maybe twice a day, or instead of once, or 4 times a day instead of twice, just maybe to up our presence a little bit.
And what you talked about was kind of like a ghost police car. We did that in places like Brookstone and Prairie View previously. So we can look at doing that as well, put in a ghost police car, which is unmanned unit, basically in different areas, moving it throughout the day, allowing for manpower to kind of give a physical presence, even though it's not an officer actually in the vehicle.
Does it have that fake camera in it?
Well, it has a real camera in it, sir.
Oh, okay, so it has a real camera. Okay, that's even better. That's even better. So, and as far as, I know we were doing walkthroughs at one time when we had the manpower. We actually, like an exercise that the officers are being able to get out of the car and go up to, how is that going? Is that?
Yes, we do both. So we ask that the normal patrol officers do patrols. We also have if we have more additional manpower to shift than normal, we'll have a car that's actually not worried about narcotics and weapons. So we'll actually have them and a 2-man team actually go through the units. We also have a canine officer that occasionally will go through the units as well. So, but, and like I said, we're hoping that is going to be a deterrence. Unfortunately, like Director Chalmers explained, a lot of activities happen within the confines of private spaces. So we're hoping that overall it'll be a better deterrent. I think if we get the additional maybe civilian manpower in through grants, that would be someone to monitor the doors would be phenomenal, because then they would stop people from letting other people in without authorization. That would probably knock down 75 or 80% of our issues over at both locations.
Have you ever attended one of the meetings?
No,
I mean-
actually, it was, as you were speaking, I was actually putting it in my calendar. I was going to ask her when the meeting was over, when the time was, so we can start attending these on a monthly basis as well.
I mean, I wouldn't say, whatever you want to do, but.
Oh, the quarterly meetings we attend. I thought the monthly meetings, there was additional monthly. Yeah, I was gonna attend, sorry, attending the board meetings. I attend the quarterly meetings, yes.
Okay, okay. I know at the board meetings, I know the decision makers are there, at the board meetings sometimes. I don't know what your schedule is.
I'd be happy to attend, sir. I was actually putting it in my phone as we were speaking.
And in that way, you're in direct contact and, with the members there.
Another thing we're looking at doing is probably, we had a couple citizens that were wanting to do more senior events, or like bingos, et cetera. Then maybe we could end up hosting or kind of quasi hosting. So I was speaking with her about that as well at the next meeting, so.
And can I feel confident enough that you've got this, and with our great public safety chair, and you guys are not putting it on your plate, but we do have a direction and we do have a focus, correct?
Yes, sir. I'll be
We do.
presenting things to the chairman here shortly. there's approval, we will move forward in those directions.
And I know I've reached out to you. I just wanted to get some things on record because like I said, this is something that, as an alderman, I should have been doing, a little bit more, I feel. So I appreciate you, Mr. Wall.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
Anyone else? All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Assistant Chief. Anyone else on the miscellaneous? Just to, kind of give you, the city council and, the residents a little update of what's been going on, here at the city hall. Like you said, like Bob did mention today that, we did, have an award for the, APWA awards, for our 16th Street, water main, lead line replacement and also our water treatment plant. I want to thank, Trotter Associates. I want to thank my Public Works Department for attending, Tommy, Rob, and Bob, Tommy, Bob, and Rob, got it, for all being there. Chairman, Alderman Evans for coming out, to be a part of that also. It was a good experience, it's nice when you're up there against, Buffalo Grove and some of the other, communities. And, we didn't just receive one, we received 2 awards, out of the, awards that were presented. So, I mean, that was nice to be able to, have that, recognition. One of the other things that, it looks like hopefully within, this week, you're gonna have a ruling from the Illinois Supreme Court regarding the, Waukegan gaming case against Potawatomi. If that ruling comes out, hopefully, the, American Casino can move forward with theirs, to build their, casino, out there at Fountain Square. Hopefully that ruling will come down and, it will be in favor of that. And, what that does, again, we do receive revenue from American Place, here to the city of North Chicago. So if they're able to, build a larger casino, that's more dollars back into the city of North Chicago. So that's, we'll be, monitoring that. One other thing, is that we had a good update for our shared crossing, the IEPA issues that were related out there. We have just 2 minor, issues remaining at the, Sheridan Crossing site. That is where we're gonna, after we get the IEPA approval, we'll actually now be able to do actually do cleanup on that site to get all the contaminants out of there and, give us an opportunity to the city of North Chicago with the IEPA and RCRA. Those are the 2 sites. We have actually 3, the US EPA. That is something, the US EPA is not as strict as the IEPA. So, once we are able to get through that, hopefully within this next quarter, you're gonna be able to start to see cleanup at that site. What does that do? That'll get us out from under those 2 agencies, and it actually gives us an opportunity to put other things on that site that, would hinder us being controlled by IEPA. So hopefully, we'll be able to see that come up, shortly, as we move forward with that. Next one, Taylor. I know that Hugh will be, presenting, a little bit, information regarding the, solar project at Casper Pulaski, for some updates there. And then also, we will be, moving forward with Compass. I know he will be bringing some information regarding Compass out on Route 41. And, that will be coming through our planning and zoning board and eventually, coming back in front of council so that we can go ahead and that site can move forward with. I know that they have some, permits they have to complete before they get that project, moved forward. And, finally, staff will be meeting with the Lake County Administration for a, project meeting and kickoff to have Wi-Fi access installed and, through the intergovernmental collaboration using the county ARPA funds. So hopefully that, the county will be, giving us, additional dollars so that we can have, additional Wi-Fi throughout the city of North Chicago. So, that is something I'm glad to see that they have stepped up to use some of their ARPA funds to the city of North Chicago. So those are things that, are happening here, within the community. So I just wanted to let, council and the citizens know what's happening here within, our community. All right, last is, executive session. We do have some issues in executive session that we do have to go into. The executive session 5 ILCS 122 C5 and C1. C5 is a purchase or lease of real estate property, and C1 is the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, and dismissal of specific employees. So can I have a motion at this time to go into executive session?
So moved. Second.
It's been moved by Alderman Smith, second by Alderman Evans, that we go into executive session. Are there any questions? If not, roll call.
Good night. Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy,
Aye.
Alderman January,
Aye.
Alderman Jackson,
Aye.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans.
Aye.
All right, motion carried. Citizens will be out hopefully shortly. I'd like to open up, city council again. Could I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by Alderman Jackson, second by Alderman Evans, that, the city council be reopened. Could we have a, roll call?
Present.
Alderman Murphy,
Excuse me.
Present.
Alderman January, Alderman Jackson,
Present.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans,
Here.
Alderman Allen.
Okay, there's no, action being needed for the executive session. Will I entertain a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Been moved by Alderman Jackson, second by Alderman Coleman, that the, city council stand adjourned. Are there any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Give me 1 second, please.
Okay.
Switch this. Who's this? Oh, it's yours. Oh, it's the mayor. Okay, Mayor.
Okay, I'd like to open up our committee of the whole. Oh, let me ask this. Do we need to open up committee of the whole? Are there anything under the committees that anybody need? If not, we can move on to judiciary. If no one has anything, then I will pass on opening up the committee of the whole.
Oh,
See ya.
Judiciary.
I got something I want to ask the treasurer for.
That was good. You ready? Okay, at this time, like the call the Judiciary Committee meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Alderman Jackson,
Present.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith,
Present.
Alderman Murphy,
Present.
Alderman January.
Oh, come back
She,
in.
no, she said she wasn't going to.
Oh, okay. All right, at this time, we have one item for discussion. It's the discussion and review of Brookstone at Coles Park. I believe Chief of Staff is gonna give us an update.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, brief update. We're pretty much where we were at in our last meeting. We were waiting for the first hearing to come up, which is coming up in February, in which Brookstone has to show what they've completed so far as to their implementation. Not only do we have that nuisance out there with a $750, I believe is, it's $750 in advance? 500 a day in it, thank you, 500 a day in abeyance until they come into compliance, but we also just issued a code violation on Brookstone again. Apparently there was a break-in. Somebody kicked in a resident's back door. She had turned around and made a number of inquiries for repair to the door over several months and got no response. She finally communicated that to the city. I had directed the Economic Development and Community Development Department to go out there and if the door was not repaired, to go ahead and cite them as a code violation, hoping it would expedite the repairs on that. How much time's left on that? So we'll be pursuing that too. We're using as a remedy the stick instead of the carrot. We're turning around and we're finding that when there are incidents where properties are not being repaired, when calls are being made by the public, we are turning around and sending our people out for code enforcement and citations. So we're going to do the stick instead of the carrot there.
So
Alderman Evans has a question.
So with the situation like that, Taylor mentioned that the front door was kicked in and the back door was already kicked in. Is it not being repaired?
The back door wasn't repaired. That's why we hit them on the code violation.
Right.
This is the first because we haven't had a chance to talk today on the front.
So what's going on? How do we, now that we got ourselves involved with this, how do they be safe in their apartment?
Yeah, so we just heard this shortly before the meeting today, that we got the police report that the front door had been kicked in. My understanding is that it can be secured. It's still able to close and the like, so the unit is still occupiable in that sense. We will be following up tomorrow to inspect that to see what the situation is. If it warrants it, we'll follow up with Brookstone Management to insist that they relocate that individual to another unit immediately due to the condition. But we have yet to verify as my department the condition of that
Right.
door, but we understand it is closing.
Now, since your department was involved, did the police get involved?
Yes, they're the ones who responded.
Okay. Did anybody get arrested? That's for chief.
Domestic incident, there was no arrest made. Arrest made the first time, but not the second.
Okay. The reason I ask is because if people gonna do things like that and call the city out for the help, we need to send a message too that we will not tolerate this. So I don't know if you could do something in the future as far as arresting or anything when a person kicked the door in. I think something needs to happen besides just saying, okay, well, it was a domestic thing, but you just tore up the property that we're discussing. Okay.
And on the law enforcement side, the police have some constraints on what they can do and can't do. I will also, I failed to mention, I went to our legal department and emphasized the urgency in the surety issue, the $7 million bond, so we can complete the work. Because they're not doing it. And that's an attempt to also not only, and most importantly, get the work done and get it up to safety standards, but it's also to turn around and have an impact on the pocketbook. Because it's the only thing that seems to matter to this company, and that's why we've got them at the table, bringing executives in to have conversations with the adjudication officer because of the fact that we're hitting them in their pocket. We're going to continue to do that as aggressively as we can. That's the marching orders the legal team's been given.
Okay, so thank you.
Just a quick question, Chief of Staff, from the surety that have we tapped into it already? So this potentially could be the first time we'll tap into that particular bonding that they have on.
That's correct. The agreement was that they were going to turn around and complete the items on the punch list.
Right.
That punch list has been presented, represented, and they just don't care. The surety's there for that purpose. The surety's there to make sure the work gets done, and if it's not, that's our opportunity to tap into it. They seem to contend that this amount is, the 7 million is more than what's needed to, fix what's on the punch list. The problem is their punch list is dated.
Yeah.
Costs have gone up. And we don't know what conditions exist or have been further eroded because of the fact they haven't completed work that was required. And what their sense of what creates a safe environment and the city's, belief on what creates a safe environment there's great disparity between the two, but we're not acquiescing.
Thank you. Alderman Smith, I think he had a question.
Is there any way to find out if the man that kicked in the door is a tenant or not? Okay, so in your lease, there are certain guidelines that are in place. So can he be restricted from coming on the property because he's not on the lease? And see, if we, and
Paper say you can't come into the property.
no, but I'm just saying, if they had security at the gate and you have to give out your ID to get on the property, say, oh, Mr. Wilson, you can't come in because blah, blah, blah.
Remember, Alderman, we're talking about Brookstone, there's no gates.
I know, but I'm just saying, putting
If there
in
was-
putting something in place to, because he's gonna do it again.
To Greg's point, management has the tools to be able to do their job. They can even go as far as removing that tenant from there. Because if you continue to allow your boyfriend to come in here and damage our property, we can get you out of here. They're not doing their job. It's the bottom line.
I want to share this, this piece of information too. As the council's well aware, Alderman Allen and the mayor worked to secure $250,000 for physical security over at Brookstone.
Right, correct.
They didn't want to touch it because they couldn't do the terms of net 30 and come out of pocket for the first month's payment for that security service. I received an email 2 weeks ago that basically said, can we turn around and get that money back from the senator?
We want it now.
Yeah, they want it now. And my response to them was, you don't understand how this works. If the money has been allocated and it's not used, it has to be used someplace else, otherwise you lose the money, the grant money, and it's not something she keeps in a pocketbook. She's got to go back to the Illinois Criminal Justice Information Authority, try to get grant money again for the same project. First of all, the senator was not exactly thrilled that she went to bat to get $250,000 and the management company walked away, much less to go to the senator and ask her to do the same thing again. So they said, oh, we understand. I said, so if you want to make this request, please put something in writing so I can convey it to the mayor, the city council, and then the senator. And they said, oh, well, let me get back to you. Still haven't heard anything.
Oh, so you probably won't.
So it's the management company. It's the nexus here.
So I know we got the other thing in place. Can we put more pressure on them?
Yeah, what we've done is IDA's involved with it, the Illinois Department of Housing Authority. They're involved with it. They pretty much told their financiers, they put them on notice. In fact, they encouraged us to continue to pursue the surety and use that as a trump card on it. And then they're getting regular reports from Lorraine at the Lake, I'm sorry, ma'am? Lorraine Hocker from Lake County Housing Authority. So the state's well aware of it. The state has tossed around terms of, do we want a new management company in? Well, they don't want a new management company because Dorchester is the management company, which is a subsidiary of Benoit Group. So they don't, they certainly don't want to make, want a new management company in there because they're making money off of it. And we've started talking between Attorney Silverman and Attorney Simon and Henley is receivership. How do we turn around and get the property out of their hands? in order to turn around and, give those residents there the quality of life that they deserve, rather than turn around and treat them with disregard. So.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Anyone else? No, hearing none. At this time, I call for a, motion to adjourn the Judiciary Committee meeting.
So moved.
Been moved by Alderman Smith, seconded by Alderman Coleman to, adjourn the Judiciary Committee meeting. Motion, roll call, please.
Alderman Jackson,
Aye.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
Okay, at this time, Judiciary Committee meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to open the Human Resources Committee meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Jackson,
Present.
Alderman Coleman,
Present.
Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith,
Present.
Alderman Murphy,
Present.
Alderman January.
Good evening.
Yeah, we have one item on the agenda. It's the discussion of consulting agreement with IT Associates.
Good evening, Alderman. So, you see, in front of you, my memo and then also the contract with IT Associates. So we just bring this forward to you because it's a new staffing agency. It's another resource that we're looking to utilize to assist the Comptroller's Office. As far as, bringing in some help, for like the Assistant Comptroller role. You can see here, with the contract, what the rates are. So it's at 20%, the placement fee. In my memo, it shows what the approximate monthly budget will be based off of the salary. It shows what the terms of the agreement are with any conversion fee if we decide to turn around and hire their placement, the individual, the candidate that they bring forward. It's just another resource. It's another tool for the city to utilize.
Oh, go ahead, Alderman Evans.
It says consulting agreement with IT to work in the,
No, that's just their title. They are specialists. They do also help to place IT, professionals,
Right.
but they're a staffing agency and they also help to place other professionals such as in the accounting field and
so
finance
you're
field.
bringing someone else in?
This is just another staffing agency, so we can bring a
I know.
candidate in.
We used HR, GovHR last time when we placed, David, in there.
Correct.
That, David went on to another position.
So you're not gonna use Gov?
We're not gonna use GovHR.
Okay,
I
then.
wanted to take a look at a different company because I wasn't happy with GovHR, in this placement. I've been happy with them before. I think they served the city well. But this one is, a different company. The other thing too, and Liz didn't get to point out, is the conversion on this one. It's 6 months and it goes to zero, right? At 6 months, they take no conversion fee.
Okay, okay.
But we also talked about a try and buy. When we talked about this with WHR, we said, why were we going outside? Because Tawanda felt that let's try somebody, see what their skill set is, not be vested if we don't have to be, if it doesn't work out.
Right.
And then if 3 months they work out, we onboard them.
Okay.
And, council's aware, we've had some difficulty filling positions in various departments.
Right.
We take public safety aside from it in the other departments. We're looking to pull every tool out of the toolbox to make sure we get the right person doing the right job, the right time. the right
Where's this
qualifications.
IT associates at?
Warrenville, Naperville, over in that area.
So are they gonna get people that far to come out here?
Yeah, they can turn around and they do service. AbbVie is one of their clients. Cardinal, I think it was Cardinal was, so, yeah, I don't.
So again, why wouldn't do we run ads for the positions that we're looking for? Do we try that first? Do we go through HR?
We've been
resources?
advertising for the positions,
Like what position?
all of them.
What positions we got open? I mean,
The
I haven't
assist-
heard
The
anything.
assistant comptroller, the,
Okay.
now financial analyst,
I mean, I know those are open, but I have not seen, where are they advertised at locally?
Oh.
Where are they advertised at? No, what I'm saying, locally, I'm saying, we're talking about going out to Warrenville to a IT, to a agency. I'm saying, have we been advertising here locally in a Lake County area? Have we
Yeah,
been advertising?
IT Associates is just officed over there. They turn around and they market all in.
No, I understand that. I understand the IT associates. I'm saying, if we got these positions open, have we been advertising in Lake County?
Yes.
That's my question.
Yes.
Where? Where?
Well, through our website.
And where else? But have we been using like, we got businesses around here. Okay, we got newspapers around here, right?
No.
We got, I mean, I'm just
Yeah,
curious.
just to be totally honest, Alderman, nobody pulls a job out of a newspaper
What-
anymore.
Okay, but we got other, I'm just curious, why you going way out to Warrenville versus locations right here in Lake County? That's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, well, the Warrenville is a headhunter. They find bodies. And it's the same thing we would be doing here. I mean, if you're asking, I think what you're asking is, do we go to a local finance firm and say, give us this? Yeah, I guess I'm kind of lost.
You got Deerfield, you got Buffalo Grove, you got Lincolnshire, you got Antioch, you got locations.
That's
all these
why we go
locations
on
are-
ILCMA. That's why we do it on the website, because then we can turn around and hit those areas like a Buffalo Grove or a Lake Bluff or Libertyville.
Right, see.
Yeah, so I mean, we're advertising in the places, we're in a tough, we're just in a tough
And
spot.
I'm gonna tell you why I'm concerned about that. It's because of the distance.
The
When you-
person
if
wouldn't
you
work out
find-
there.
No, I know they're not gonna work, but that's what they're looking at. They're out there searching out that way. So you get somebody that's living out that way, trying to get down here. That's
No,
why.
I disagree, Alderman. I don't think they're looking out there. I think
Okay.
what they're doing is casting a net.
Okay.
And they turn around, and proximity is gonna be something that's gonna be, you're gonna wanna hire somebody. The last thing we wanna do is have somebody out in St. Charles trying to truck over here 2.5 hours a day.
That's what I'm saying.
No, I get it.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I think Alderman Jackson, you had a question?
No, I think I was just
Okay.
hoping that we got clarification, because
Thank
my understanding is this company, Warrenville, is just the company that is being used,
Right.
but not the people coming from
Correct.
Warrenville. They're coming from anywhere. Like, it's like if you do Indeed.com type deal or something like that.
Yeah.
It's just the people who are going to do the process for common language.
And even though I no longer actively work in human resources, I'm still involved enough and know people who are, that the way people look for jobs now, it is true that there are no more ads in newspapers. It just doesn't happen. And no matter where a company is located, whether it's a staffing agency, whether it's even the temporary agencies, they know that they're likely to pull closer to their own location, but not exclusively, because they want the biggest pool they can get a hold of. And that's a processing office. It's gonna be, if the person's working temporarily, that's who's gonna process their timesheet and issue their check. But otherwise, they're never physically there. That person could be living in North Chicago, be working for a staffing agency in Warrenville, and never physically be in that office. Go ahead, Alderman Smith.
Thank you. I guess my concern would be, I heard the term used, the net. Is the net being thrown in Lake County? A lot of times when we have contractors, they forget about the little people, the local people. So my question is, they're not saying they're not good, but again, with that net, is that net reaching the people in Lake County?
I would say, I will tell you that any headhunting firm, any staffing firm that's worth a grain of salt is going to make sure that distance is not the problem, because they're gonna know that an employee may turn and jump ship for a position that's someplace closer to home. I would tell you they were more than likely will look towards first blush at Lake County, Northern Cook. I'd be surprised if they didn't. That company's been around for a while. They're award recognized. I would be surprised if they didn't. I think we want people spending money in our community that are up in our community. I don't think there's any disagreement with that.
Undercurrent.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree. I think what also we should be doing, and we'll figure out a way to do it, is since there seems to be a little bit of gray area as to some of the advertising and some of the positions are open, and it's very fluid because we got positions coming and going. And we turn around and give the council from time to time a list of open positions. That way, if you've got somebody you want to refer.
Also, and I brought this up in the past about the marketing or the strategy used for advertising the positions. You say it's on the website, and it's like even with our church, I said, just because we have a website, if people don't know we have a website, that doesn't do any good. So I've said that to say this. We have a City of North Chicago on Facebook putting up hiring and a description, because that's being circulated more than people just to go to the website, putting it on our Facebook page, putting it on, do we have Instagram?
No.
Okay, putting it on the Facebook page, position, hiring, this position, disqualification, or North Chicago's hiring for this position, go to the webpage for more information, but giving them, the people who are on social media, even someone locally can see that. And as a way of, I can, if I say, I can share it, because this way it's actually two positions or whatever, boom, I can share it on my page. Somebody else can share it on their page. As now we're working locally to try to get these positions filled locally, as opposed to always going to outsources to do the work that we could be doing ourselves.
We're on LinkedIn, which is also, everybody knows, is a business centric portal on social media. I think the first hurdle, no disagreement, Alderman, fully understand, and we'll work towards that. First obstacle I have to overcome from a staff standpoint is the ability to properly manage and develop content for the social media pages, because I think we're lacking there right now, and we need to get it and move it. So I assure you that we'll look at that when we do it. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, I got one more question.
Yeah.
Greg, the only thing that I'm really concerned about is this. We're going all the way out to Warrenville or wherever. And when you get these people that's coming from a distance, I mean, I know you're saying, well, they're just like a Matthews that's located here, or any other temporary service that's here in Lake County. My only concern is we're a city. And in this city, we should try to get more people that's within this city to show the concern of what they could do, to show the work that they could do. I don't think it's expressed enough that these job openings are here in the city. Because I never hear about a job opening until I get into a city council meeting. I mean, I hear it when it's online, but we're not advertising here in Lake County to the people. We should be going to CLC. We got that campus out there. We got other colleges in the surrounding area. We should be trying to get people that's here. They don't have to live in North Chicago, but they should be close enough to be in North Chicago so that they can invest in North Chicago. Because I don't see nobody from this area applying all the way down there to work all the way up here. You see?
I will tell you that, and I will be happy to share the email that I just sent out to half a dozen or more universities and schools, including CLC last week, where I did the jobs, and I put the posting of the position.
Okay.
We're doing that outreach. It may not be visible to members of the council necessarily, but we are doing it. I don't know, other than Alderman Smith brings up the point of better utilization of social media, which is certainly something we need to address. But other than to turn it out and put it on the traditional job boards, which are used by everybody, what tools we would turn around. We do job fairs from time to time.
Okay.
We reach out to veterans groups from time to time. Some of these positions are positions that require 10 years of experience with a college degree as an MBA, and so your reach may have to go a little bit further to turn around and find qualified candidates. We're trying to get qualified people for police department, for police officers and firefighters, and we're just in a difficult situation.
Right.
In trying to capture candidates for the position. Now, let me say this, the resumes, IT Associates doesn't turn around and say, this is the person we're giving to you. We get the resumes and we look at them. And if it's somebody that's from North Chicago or it's somebody from Lake County, it's our choice to interview whoever we want to interview. It's not their choice. All they're doing is being the gatekeeper. They're going out and they're, saying, okay, we're looking, we find these people who are job hunting with these qualifications. It matches what North Chicago's looking at. Let's send their resume over there. Liz looks at the resume, Wanda looks at the resume, and then I'm asked to look at them if as a third person if needed. But we're not taking somebody they give us and say, okay, this is what we've got to use. We
Right.
turn around and vet as if we're hiring.
Right. I do understand that, but why can't our HR just get resumes and have things come in to her? And she just does.
She does.
Okay.
Yeah, she does, but
So we had none. I mean, how many you have?
But today I've interviewed.
Can you come to the mic?
Liz, yeah.
I've actually forwarded one of them on to Taylor for associate planner.
Right.
Position, I interviewed two individuals for the, one for assistant controller, one for financial analyst.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. That's good.
Right, but
That's-
this is
that's-
just
that's-
another tool in the toolbox that we can utilize. It's
Okay.
Like Greg said, it doesn't mean that we need to take the person. It's just another tool in the toolbox, and we're coming to you because of the budget line.
Right.
So that way, if we do go this route, we've already got it approved by council.
Okay.
I also wanted to say something, and Liz, I know I get emails from you when there are job openings. I might not study them closely because I know that there's two reasons for you to give them to us, I think. One is so that we know that the job search is going on for an open position. But also if we know, I guess, of somebody who would be qualified, perhaps.
Yeah.
We can share that information with a qualified person. I mean, if I take that and yeah, I could put it on my Facebook page. That's one way to what Alderman Smith, I think, was referring to, that would be one way to get it in front of arguably some more eyes.
Right.
But those emails come to all of us as far as I know. And also in the monthly report from Human Resources, there's a section that shows what job openings there are, how many applicants there have been total, and how many applicants there have been from North Chicago for those positions. It's in every monthly HR report.
Don't get it wrong.
I'm just saying,
It
it's-
goes to our office personally when I want to know about jobs. Don't
Yeah,
I
but
go to your
I'm
office?
just saying, there's
Do
information.
I go to your office? I go straight to
But
the
there's
director.
information
Yeah.
available for how the search
Right.
is going without a blow by blow
But I go.
of
straight-
today I interviewed two people. Liz doesn't
Yeah.
call us all up or send an email and say, today I interviewed two people.
Right.
And again, the more in today's market, the more opportunity there is to get an ad in front of when I say an ad, I mean a job listing and the notice that there's an available job, to get that in front of as many qualified eyes as possible, or as many eyes as possible to catch whoever's qualified. again, this is another resource. It's not the only thing that I think that we're trying to rely on.
The tool in the toolbox is a perfect metaphor because she turns around and says, if we turn around and still get applications, resumes from other candidates that are interested, we don't pay IT associates anything. We only pay them if we find a candidate that we like and we bring them on.
Right.
Otherwise, you know, they're just out there looking for us.
Absolutely.
So.
I'm just curious, what is,
Go ahead.
okay, Junebug gets hired. Do they get a percentage? We have to pay a flat fee? How does that work?
They give us a billing rate for an hour for every, you know, just like a normal placement. And if in 6 months we decide to take the person, there is no percentage. And the percentage is less than what it was with GovHR. It was, it's 15% at 3 months or 10%. 15 at 3 months, 6 months, it's no charge at all.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Madam Chair. This one's for free. I'll give you this one. Like Keller. Keller is a temporary services that it specializes in accounting, right? So I believe that you and Liz, because you're in the field of professionalism, hiring professional jobs, you kind of know where to look, right? Like HR Gov, you know, you pay $5,000. I've never heard of it, but as a professional, you have common knowledge of that, right? And I think you guys do a good job of finding those type of things in which the net is everywhere. Like if you know HR Gov, if you're in Florida, you can look it up and get a job in Illinois, where most people don't know that. So that net is throughout the country, right? So I think you guys are dead on, okay? But now I have to speak from my friend's perspective, Mr. Evans, and I would say our alderman's perspective. As alderman, we have a stipulation here that was before your time, right? It had nothing to do with you, that we need to hire more inside our city. And us as aldermen, we always are asked the question of, why are we not hired in the city? Why is there no job positions available? I want to work for the city. And as aldermen, we're not going to go tell them, go look at hr.gov, right? Because we don't know what it is. So what I believe the communication that Mr. Evans and Mr. Smith and all of the aldermen have trying to get across to you is that keep doing what you're doing with your tools, but give us tools as aldermen to say, well, where's the jobs posted? They were posted on a door when you walked in to the meeting, right? That idea costs you nothing. Posted on the door. Well, the comptroller's office right there, when they go pay their water bill, posted there. Go to, and I think Mr. Evans and Mr. Smith are great masterminds of reaching out to the community and finding different ways. I think Mr. Evans would like for you just to put a flyer up the post office. You know, that would make him happy. So, or put a flyer up at the laundromat so that day-to-day people from our community can start actually physically seeing the signs and coming back and say, hey, you got a job. And now we have something to go off of, because as aldermen, we're sitting up here with the stipulation that we don't hire from within. And I'm gonna call it like it is. We have a staff that where they live at don't represent our community, right? Like they're not from here. And I think all of the aldermen are just trying to say, don't overthink it, right? To make us happy, we just want simple stuff like Facebook, Twitter, a flyer on the cars outside when you come. Just little small ideas at the gas station, you know, putting it on the bulletin board at the gas station. Let's say we don't get anyone that applies or 1 out of 1,000. That's okay, Because now us as aldermen, we have a tool to fight back with the residents and say, man, we doing what we doing the best that we can do to let these jobs available to you. And if we're posting them everywhere at the laundromat. Don't tell me you haven't saw no posting about North Chicago openings. And right now, us as aldermen, we can't say go to hr.gov.
I mean, to your point, Alderman, and I appreciate what you're saying. First and foremost, and I think the city council would agree without hesitation, what we want more than anything else is the most qualified person that we can possibly get for the job. Because that's going to make us effective and efficient. The big thing there is love to have them from North Chicago. Absolutely. If we could find the most qualified person to do job A, and they're from North Chicago and they got the qualifications, they know the community, they're invested in the community. But what I will assure you, Alderman, is that Liz and I will talk and we'll find those other avenues, postings, making something visible, putting it at the library, where people, high traffic areas, I think that's what you were trying to describe. Liz and I can sit down and noodle that together
But I'm gonna say it again. You and Liz, y'all not from North Chicago. You don't know where to put it. What I said was talk to Mr. Smith, talk to Carl, talk to myself, talk to any of the aldermen that are up here and ask us, like, what are some of the high traffic areas in your wards that you would like us to market the jobs to? Now, as far as saying qualifications in the city of North Chicago, I don't know how you put those two together. We need qualified candidates. I don't know. I'm gonna skip that for right now. But what we're saying is, if you feel like putting local signs, you don't reach as qualified of candidates as if you go out to Warrenville, that's okay. Let's say,
That's not, I'm sorry if you misinterpreted. That's not at all what I was saying. What I was saying is if all of a sudden we turn around and get a person with an associate's degree in accounting that for a job that would require an MBA, which is what Tawanda has asked for this position, an MBA or a CPA. And then we get somebody from Antioch who has an MBA, a CPA, and has been in government finance for 10 years. I think we'd want to turn around and defer to the person who's got the most qualifications, so the highest qualifications. Not necessarily.
I'm curious to disagree. We got a comptroller that's born and raised from right here.
Yep.
Right? And at one time, there was some people that had a better education than her, but she stood here. She's from here, and she puts her heart on the line, and she stays here after hours. She's the last one out the door. Correct. And I've had people like Liz ask to be put first on the committee so she can go home early. So it doesn't really correlate together, is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't correlate together. Just because you're from North Chicago, you can be the next comptroller.
So Alderman Coleman.
You can be.
This is still my committee meeting, and this has gone way overboard. I know that you like to criticize staff, especially staff that you perceive isn't from North Chicago or doesn't understand North Chicago. I don't really think that's what this committee is here to do tonight. And you've had the floor for quite some time. Would you get to your point, please, so we can move on? And then if anyone else has another question, we can move this forward.
I told people I was doing Woosah for 2025. Woosah. I rescind the floor.
We will find a way to high traffic areas, greater communication to the community, so we can turn around and have that tool.
And I'd like to add one other thing. If any of us, if any of you have a suggestion as to where certain things could be posted, rather than wait for either Liz or Greg or anybody else to come to you with the question, you already have the idea. I'm hearing that you have ideas. Why not simply say, hey, I have an idea. Can you put something here, here, here? Whatever location you've identified, as a probable good place for job postings or job openings to be seen
I-
by residents.
Out of all, respect, Madam Chair, can I address that?
And I'm not a Mrs.
Madam Chair, can I address that?
Sure.
I've been calling Greg for 3 months now, and I haven't told you, but I think all of the aldermen know that he does not return my phone calls, and he doesn't have to because I'm not his boss. So he doesn't return my phone calls. So that is the reason why it's not that I want to criticize him, but I have to address this on the floor because he doesn't return my phone calls.
You've heard of email, I assume? If you wanted to make a recommendation of a location, I'm talking specifically about this topic, not all the other topics that you want to drag out here tonight. So if you have a place, a location that you think would be a good place to put a job posting, you can't write an email to Greg and Liz and say, I think XYZ location, your choice, would be a great place to advertise for our jobs. That's not doable?
Absolutely, ma'am. You have a great day. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Then that's what I suggest you do.
Yes, ma'am.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay, hearing none, then I,
Disrespect to Anthony back to her. That's what I'm talking about. You can't threaten them all.
I didn't threaten anyone. I didn't threaten anyone. I asked a question. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you so much for your input. I'm not disrespecting you. I'm telling you to have a wonderful evening. Thank you very much for your input. Mr. Mayor? Mr. Mayor?
Coach. That don't make no sense, man. I should just set up and disrupt y'all and talk to y'all like that. Y'all are just like she is. You understand? Right.
Good night. I would like to entertain a motion to adjourn the Human Resources Committee meeting. Can I get a motion, please?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Alderman Jackson,
Aye.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Murphy,
Aye.
Alderman January.
I would like to open up Economic Development Planning and Zoning Committee. Roll call.
Oh, I have the wrong sheet. Alderman Jackson,
Present.
Alderman Coleman, Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith,
Present.
Alderman Murphy,
Present.
Alderman January.
All right, we have one item on the agenda, discussion of lease option agreement, Cashmere Pulaski Drive. Taylor, take it away.
All right, thank you, Chairman Smith and City Council. This evening, we have before you for discussion is a proposal for a lease option agreement for the property, 0 Cashmere Pulaski, also known as 13th Street. It's up there, kind of northwest corner of the city. This is a former landfill site that the city owns. We have been in discussions with a solar development company called AC Power about the possibility of developing this property. They've been working as well with the adjacent property owner on the Republic Services owned property, which is immediately to the west of the city-owned property, about doing solar on that site as well. So their hope is to develop solar on both properties at the same time to maximize the return on investment. At this time, they are seeking a 2-year lease option agreement. So that lease option is not a enforceable lease that they would enter into with the city at this time, but it would be an option for them to enter into that in the future or within those 2 years. So For consideration of that option, they would be paying the city quarterly installments of $1,500 for that period of time, up to 2 years. After which the option would be to AC Power to enter into a lease for that property. So that lease agreement would be drafted up and executed by the parties at that time. Current estimates for that property are based on the megawatts produced by the development, and are estimated to be $36,000 per year for that lease. Again, this is a landfill site. The opinion of staff is that there are very limited options for this site as far as development. The condition of the property, whether it can support building structures and the like, is kind of an unknown factor at this time. And that severely hampers the marketability of the property and the ability to develop it with other types of uses. In the past, it has been leased to a company called DK Organics as a organic waste site and landscaping kind of site. And so at this time, we kind of kick that to the committee for discussion to see if that is a option that you are willing to consider. I will say that the final details of that lease option agreement are still being reviewed by both sets of attorneys. They're just kind of a few items that they're trying to pin down. So I would propose if the committee is agreeable to it, to placing this on the full agenda for city council rather than omnibus, so that the final lease option agreement could be attached to the city council agenda and review, the one that would be finalized by the city's attorneys.
Any questions? Alderman Jackson.
Since this is a landfill, or used to be, what obligations does the city have for doing any cleanup or mediation or anything on that piece of property? And I apologize because I didn't get a chance to read the automatic notes this afternoon. So if you can explain if there's any cleanup that we will be responsible for.
The city has been conducting the required testing of the site. I believe it's on an annual basis, and all those have been passing grades. It's my understanding that the site does not require any further remediation for its current condition or anything like that. I suppose I do not know if you were to excavate the site, what that might entail in terms of testing further. But at this time, my understanding is that we do not need to presently take any action further about testing or remediating the site.
All right, thank you.
All right, I have a couple questions. Of the property that we have over there and that they're looking to lease from us, how much of that are they going to use? And then if they're not using all of it, how much is left over? And will that leftover part be available if somebody else wants to use it?
In the packet here, there is an exhibit that kind of shows the proposed solar farm arrangement out there. So those are the panels on the city property.
Hold on a second, Taylor.
So as you can see.
Taylor, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Gentlemen. You sure? Thank you. I go continue.
If you were to do basically a rectangle around that site there. So the property line's not shown, but if you were to make a rectangle around that, that's approximately where the city's property boundaries are. Most of that balance of the area that's not filled by the blue solar panels that are shown here on the exhibit is a sloped area. And so really, besides for the solar installation itself, there's not really a usable portion of the property.
Okay. And then that 30,000 they were talking about, does that mean the usage, and we'll get money from that from being the usage, or we're gonna get that no matter what?
That would be, that is currently estimated on the megawatts generated capacity of the facility, not necessarily actual, but the capacity of the facility. That is one of the terms that we're finalizing, with AC Power. Alternatively, we could base it on the acreage of the installation itself and get to that same estimate essentially, to a rate that would be comparable.
So with the solar power, how is the city, will the city be able to benefit from solar farm?
The city benefits, kind of secondarily in the essence that this would be a community solar program, so it would be out there for city residents to participate in the solar program and essentially opt into purchasing the solar from that installation, but that would not be exclusive to the city. It'd be to any of the customers of the utilities.
So in the event that their solar program, solar agenda doesn't work, or they make the money that they had planned, then how does that work for us?
So it'd be subject to that lease agreement. So that's taking the assumption that we do enter into a lease agreement, right? They build the solar farm. So let's say for some reason it goes belly up or something like that. We would put into the lease agreement some sort of decommissioning or termination of the agreement conditions in there. But as far as impact to like the power being provided to local residents, that would not, disrupt the service that they have.
All right. Any more questions? Thank you, Taylor. I get a motion to close Economic Development and Planning and Zoning Committee.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Evans, second by Alderman Jackson. Roll call.
Alderman Jackson.
Aye.
Alderman Coleman. Alderman Evans.
Aye.
Alderman Allen. Alderman Smith.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman January.
Okay, at this time, I would like to open up Public Works Committee meeting. Roll call.
Alderman Jackson.
Present.
Alderman Coleman. Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen. Alderman Smith.
Present.
Alderman Murphy.
Present.
Alderman January.
The first item is to discussion review of $50,000 increase in fiscal year 2025 vendor contract limit for Aircon to not to exceed amount of $150,000 for furnishing labor and materials to complete various repairs to the city HVAC systems. We have Bob. Right ahead.
Good evening. Every budget year, we put together a vendor list. And on that vendor list, to the best of our guess, we estimate how much we're gonna spend with each and every vendor. It was brought to my attention by our comptroller that we're on or above the limit that we set for Aircon, which is the company that does our HVAC work at the police station, fire station, water treatment plant, city hall, and public works. So what we're doing is increasing that amount, not knowing exactly how much we'll need between now and the end of the budget year. But we're raising that up 50,000 to allow for a not to exceed to be higher than what we set it at before.
Anyone have any questions? Alderman Jackson?
If we're asking for an increase of 50,000, what did we spend last year on this particular contract? Do you know?
At the top of my head, I don't know. But Aircon is the vendor that we've used for HVAC for a good long time. And I can get that answer for you.
If you would, please, because it seems like we're just shooting a number in the dark of just say, hey, let's make a purse of $50,000 in case there's overruns and all. But I don't have hard numbers, and that's what I'm having problems with. Saying, okay, let's give 50,000 and put it, if you want to call it a safety net, for lack of better terms. If we don't know we're going to use it, and I don't know what we spent last year. Did we spend $150,000 for the HVAC
really-
system or
Really
anything?
hard for us to say what's gonna go wrong, what's gonna break. We had quite a bit of problems in the West Wing with heating and this,
Oh, yes, I've seen that, and
Right,
I
so-
concur in that one, but
And we've had some extensive problems with the dehumidifiers at the water treatment plant. And that's still ongoing.
Okay.
And unfortunately, the reason that we're putting a not to exceed is we certainly hope that we only spend another 10,000.
Okay.
And certainly we will look at each and every expenditure and only do the ones that are absolutely necessary. But to give you a concrete answer is impossible.
Okay, well, then can you at least get me the numbers
I will
of
give
what
you
was
we
spent
last year.
last year, please? Thank
Yep,
you.
I'd be happy to.
Okay, thank you.
Alderman Murphy.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, I was reading the memo and, there's mention made in it of the fact that not only are some of our buildings obviously aging, but the equipment might be at the end of its lifespan. So I understand that, like for now, right? I mean, the heat's not working, so we gotta have heat. It's
Right.
below zero out.
But some of the stuff we're working on now, not that old, but it's failing it. And of course, if something is at the end of its useful life, we're certainly going to try to replace rather than keep throwing money at it.
And my question is, because I know there's a capital plan. And I know that even under those even under circumstances where proper analysis has been done, you can never be 100% sure that something's gonna last as long as you anticipated.
Right.
And if it's lasted longer than you anticipated, then you're really on borrowed time. But within the framework of that capital plan, does that, or is some of what's needing attention or needing work, on the horizon so that instead of continuing to repair, we're gonna
Absolutely.
do replacement?
As we go through the capital plan, looking at what's end of life,
Mhm.
we are trying to anticipate that.
Okay, so in the new fiscal year, which will start on May 1st,
Right.
have we got,
This is merely for repairs,
it's to get us through?
parts and labor to maintain what we already have.
Okay. But in the upcoming fiscal year then,
But yes, when it reaches the end of its useful life,
Yeah.
we are intending to replace.
okay, and have we got some, are any, and you don't have to tell me necessarily which ones. But hopefully something that we're working on right now, when we get into the new fiscal year is in the works
I
for,
totally understand. One of the pieces of equipment that we have down at the water treatment plant is a dehumidifier.
Mhm.
There's two of them down there.
Mhm.
One of them was just included in the award, all the work that we just did down there. The other one is old, but not, if we replace it, it's $250,000.
yeah.
So, and it's a piece of equipment that should last 40 years.
Mhm.
So we're doing everything we can to maintain that. And if and when we're told by the people that are working on it that it's no longer cost effective to
Mhm.
keep doing things that we're doing to it,
And we're past that.
then we will absolutely put it in the capital plan. But as far as what we have right now, everything we have is not extremely old.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna tell you it's all new, but it's not extremely old.
Yeah.
And it's worth maintaining.
Yeah.
But when we get to that point, I assure you, we will put it in the capital plan.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we're gonna go to item 2. Discussion review of Gary Electric, Inc. proposal in the amount not to exceed amount of 25,000 for furnishing and delivering 6 street light poles and 6 light fixtures to the city. Before you start, is one of those poles gonna be on MLK?
Hold on, I was just gonna ask about Sherman Road.
No, go ahead.
We have had a number of streetlights that have been knocked down. And even some of the ones that we just replaced on Sheridan Road that were brand new.
Yeah,
At least
those
one of them
are-
by the laundromat has already been mowed down and replaced. We keep several of these brushed aluminum streetlight poles in stock behind the tank at our water tank. And it takes about 4 to 6 months when you order things to get them. So what we do is we keep them in stock. We just used our last one. So what we're doing is from the supplier that we use, that we've used since 2016, we're gonna order these streetlight poles and we're going to keep those in stock so that when one's needed, we can put them up without having to have an extreme delay.
Right. Any questions? Alderman Jackson?
I just got a quick statement I want to make, and that was I want to compliment the staff that took care of the lights at Sheridan and 10th Street by Adams Automotive. I know that's been a long-term project.
It
So I
took us
do.
a while, and
I-
I'm sorry it took so long,
But you came through. That's what the bottom line is. You came through. So.
we stayed on
know.
them and kept on them until they finally got it.
And I truly appreciate that. So I want that to be known, because again, I kept, Adam informed what's going on because he did ask. And, I explained what was occurring and he was patient. And so now it does look good there. So I do want to compliment the, personnel that took care of that. So I'll let you know the next one.
All right,
But,
thank you.
we're doing good. So I got one that I need
All right.
addressed and I'll be chief of staff.
We're always
to
happy
talk
when
about
you
it.
can finally get some of those things done.
It's okay. We're good. Thank you.
All right, Alderman Smith?
Quick question. I don't know if it's fall under the light pole, but I've been getting complaints about a light and I've reported it on, Argonne and Dugdale. Are you aware of that or any updates on that? Cause they keep calling me about it, 'cause it's dark over there.
And it's up and out.
It's out.
Okay. I didn't personally know. I'll check to see if it was called in. And we'll make sure we get it taken care of.
Thank you.
Argonne and Dugdale.
Okay, we're gonna go to the next item. Discussion and review TAI work order in the amount not to exceed $108,810 for updating the IEPA project planning report and final design documents providing bidding services.
These next two items are Trotter initiatives. Steve had to go pick up his daughter, so he asked me to do the best I could to answer any questions and explain them. So we'll start with the IEPA planning project. It was completed in 2019. And now that we are very close to getting our property straightened out for our water tower, we need to renew. It's been so long that it's now basically expired. So what we have to do is we have to file a new report. And it's gonna be a little bit more complex because we are deciding that since 2019, costs have more than doubled. So instead of putting a 2 million gallon water tank up, we're probably going to make it a 1 million gallon water tank. This won't be a problem because since 2019, our water use has gone down exponentially. So this will still put us in a very good position for having surplus water and being able to take water from the tank to the elevated tank. And it'll also give us a chance, once the elevated tank is in place, to do much needed service work on the tank that we have now. So what this plan is going to do is give us a chance to renew and ask for money again. We are going to get an EPA loan, and there will be a percentage of that that will be given principal forgiveness. So we will not have to pay it all back. And how much we get is decided on a case-by-case basis. So we don't know that right now. But if we don't refile this report, we can't move forward with this project.
Any questions? Okay, you can go to item 4, discussion of resolution authorizing local share contribution in the maximum amount of $1,350,000 for U.S. Department of Transportation raised grant application in amount of $13,500,000, and it is for the preliminary design engineering Part 1 of the Sheridan Road corridor from approximately Route 137 to Blanchard Road in Waukegan.
This project is something that we've applied for twice before. We're gonna do it again. We don't know if we'll be successful this time, but we're doing this in conjunction with Waukegan. And it won't be, this money won't be expended until 27 or 28, so it's just something for the future. But we need to apply again, and we need to authorize it by you and get with Waukegan and reapply for this grant.
Any questions? Alderman Jackson?
Since now looking at this one and I'm seeing the most important words used in this is U.S. Department of Transportation. Do we, yeah, you know where I'm going with the question.
I think I do know. Where you're going
Okay,
with this.
the words US is obviously federal
Well, that,
from that
we
side.
obviously don't know where that might be going,
Okay,
and that's why we're going to apply and hope for the best.
okay,
We certainly have no assurance,
okay.
and I certainly know where you're going with that.
So we're throwing our hat in the ring to see,
We're throwing our hat in there because
See where it
nothing
happens.
ventured, nothing gained.
true. Well,
we're
obviously, if
gonna
we
try.
don't apply, the answer is no, but
Exactly.
we just, okay, I just want to make sure that, and I think I did hear you say we're not spending anything up front, so
No.
it's not
Right.
it's not anything that's going to hurt us in the long run if we don't get it, because we're not fronting any money, so, okay.
Anyone else? No. Okay, thank you, Bob.
All right, thank you.
I appreciate it. At this time, I'd like to close the Public Works Committee meeting. So move.
Second, you got,
Moved by Alderman Smith, second by Alderman Jackson. Roll call?
Alderman Jackson,
aye.
Alderman Coleman,
Aye.
Alderman Evans,
Aye.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith,
Aye.
Alderman Murphy,
Aye.
Alderman January.
Meeting adjourned.
Anytime.
Oh, it's fine.
Okay. I'd like to open the Finance and Audit Committee meeting. Roll call, please.
Alderman Jackson,
Present.
Alderman Coleman,
Present.
Alderman Evans.
Here.
Alderman Allen, Alderman Smith, Alderman Murphy,
Present.
Alderman January.
Okay, we have two items on the agenda, discussion for the purchase of Fortinet firewalls to replace old end-of-life equipment for the city network in the amount not to exceed of $26,350. And the second item, discussion for the purchase of desktops with LCD displays in the amount not to exceed of $26,882.
Madam Chairperson and members of the committee, I'd first ask that we hold over item 2 into the next council meeting.
Okay.
I'm sorry, committee meeting. I have, there's information that's lacking there that the council needs to see.
And the second item?
Yes.
Okay,
The first item is the purchase of Fortinet firewalls. We certainly need firewalls for the protection of the system. The current firewalls are end-of-life equipment. We've been doing, the council engaged InterDev after Rittenhouse had left. And part of their task was to replace and refresh all the equipment because it was dated. This equipment will not exceed $26,350. And we're asking to move it forward to the council so we can go ahead and proceed with purchasing.
okay, any questions? Okay. All right, thank you very much. And then the second item will move to committee for our next meeting.
Motion to close.
I'd like to ask for a motion to adjourn the finance committee meeting, please.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Evans, seconded
Aye.
by Alderman Smith. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? And I guess we're done. And not a moment too soon.
Uh-oh. What time is